This show honestly so far is making the sequels look like a masterclass in storytelling. The first two episodes showed a little bit of potential, but I think last week's episode destroyed any hope that I had for the rest of this series. And just the more I thought about that episode, I watched it again. God help me. Technically 3 times if we're talking about editing. I haven't actually finished that yet. I'm meaning to post that tonight before I get this one up. So at this point, I've seen enough of these episodes. Episodes 1 and 2, like I said, showed potential. Last week's episode absolutely destroyed it. I thought last week's episode was probably the worst episode of any live action Star Wars show that we've gotten. Maybe aside from Jack Black and Lizzo, but it honestly might be too close to even call that. But needless to say, I'm not at all excited for this episode. I'm just watching it because I feel obliged to. I am a Star Wars fan that has hope. I know a lot of people are like, if you don't like it, why are you watching it? I'm only still watching this crap because not only do I just cover this stuff on the channel, but I'm a Star Wars fan. I mean, I still have hope that they're one day going to turn this ship around, but this thing has just been sinking further and further. It's literally a train wreck. Everybody's watching this show right now, or at least most people I know are watching this show right now because of how bad it is, and they are fascinated at how terrible it is. And I apologize ahead of time if I seem cynical. It's just, this is what this show has done to me. I can't believe it. So at this point, the episode's out. I don't really want to watch it, but I'm going to. Before we get started though, do me a favor. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications, whatever you want to do to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested in seeing the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, as well as early access, you'll find those right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you want to check those out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, not excited, but let's go. Dude, this is a new feeling to me. I don't want to watch this show. I do, but I don't. I don't even know how to describe my feelings right now. It's so complicated because I love Star Wars, but I do not love this. But let's give it its fair shot. And thank God, this is the shortest episode. Yay, the witches.
Keep each movement tight, yet subtle.
This is cool though, getting to see like the older Padawans training, not just the younglings.
Thank you. For what? For helping me find my sister, prove my innocence, clear my name.
I was just doing my duty.
So is this like the only set that they built for the Jedi Temple? Because this is the same room that Soul was in episode 1.
May is the Jedi's problem now. And I'm not a Jedi.
If this gets any worse, this might have to be alcohol next week.
Next time I'm on Coruscant, though, I'll look you up. And we'll go to a cantina and trade stories about Master Soul.
Where is this relationship budding from? They barely interacted. They're just friends? They literally spoke like 2 lines to one another last episode.
You know, your sister being alive doesn't change anything. You need to kill the Wookiee. You made a deal.
There's 3 hours of sunlight left. Let's get going.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's the master. He's too much of an idiot. Like, it almost feels like he's trying to present himself as just insanely stupid. That's not Ki-Adi-Mundi, is it? Don't drag Ki-Adi-Mundi into this.
She doesn't know her master's identity, but she fears him.
An apprentice who doesn't know their master.
That can't be.
Why didn't you tell me there was a chance this poor girl survived?
If I thought there was, of course I would have. But I saw her fall. No one could have survived that.
So someone saved her then.
Let me be the one to bring her in.
Your personal connection with her and her sister is not a benefit here.
May's objective is not solely her own. You must know that.
But she like woke up by the tree.
I fear May is only a small part of her master's larger plan. A plan that is difficult to see.
So was that Ki-Adi-Mundi? Like, he had not white hair. Like, he had dark hair. And I know this is 100 years before. I don't know how long his species lives for. I just know they're allowed to have a lot of different wives because their species is endangered. He was the only one on the council that was allowed to have a wife.
You know how he is? He collects people.
I've never seen his face. Have you?
You know I haven't. Oh, look. There it is.
He dismissed that real quick. I'm really thinking it's him.
I need your help. I need you to come with me on this mission.
I can't.
There is still good in her. The part of her that loves you.
Fine. But I am not wearing that civilian robe.
Civilian robe.
The order, station, Master Kanaka.
I thought you was calling the Jedi robe civilian robes.
He has been unresponsive to our warning transmissions.
Plo Koon? Hopefully not. Don't drag these guys into it. They don't deserve it.
Stop! He's already dead.
Who's this Glup shitto? So far, I have no idea how this show was $180 million.
The locals say he ventured off into the forest and never came back.
So is Kalnaka still a Jedi? Because it seems like he's just living here now.
How do we find him?
We have a tracker.
Okay, that's what his purpose is. I think that is Plo Koon. That looked like his hilt.
Soul thinks that May can be saved.
Master Soul is a wise Jedi. You must have reason to suspect May will listen to what you have to say.
It's nice to see them on in an actual location, much like Andor. I mean, what's he got in that bag of his? Is the Smilo Ren helmet in there? There's bugs, like big beetles.
What is it?
He says there's something wrong here.
Trap.
Something rotten.
Oh, I thought maybe Kalnaka set a trap. Is it like a cocoon? Yeah, touch it. Good idea. Then let's linger on it. Yep, so it moves. Okay, it was a big beetle-looking thing. Oh, and they fly. That's great. They fly now? Oh, they look like cicadas.
It went straight for the saber.
It's attracted to light.
So far, this is the most well-paced episode. I'm not bored like I was last week, but I still have some issues. I'm just trying to enjoy the episode, take it in, and then get my qualms and problems in the end whenever I talk about it.
I was able to sense that creature, but I disturbed it, and now it's dead.
Big whoop! It's a big bug. It was ugly, so that means it was okay to kill. That was a joke.
No. We can't stop now.
I have to fight a Wookiee after this trek. I'd like to rest for a minute, if that's all right with you.
It's not, but okay.
It's not, but okay. He's kind of funny. Love when my chair just lowers itself. So awesome.
I want this more than anything, but it's impossible. And if I don't do it, he'll kill me.
You mean you'll kill me?
We're gonna find you more water. Right? You need rest.
He's being a little too nice to her, though. So maybe he isn't? I don't know.
He's vanished again. I swear we need a tracker just to track our tracker. We've lost Basil.
Oh, the Beatles got him.
May!
Oh, perfect.
I don't need to do this anymore. I don't need to kill a Jedi without a weapon. I don't need to keep this deal.
What? Cut me down!
You were wrong.
What? Where did this come from? She just switched up.
You in prison.
Not after I tell them who I know.
What?
What the f? May! May!
What? Okay. See what I mean? Like, everything is moving so fast. Like, it feels like they're trying to get through the story as quickly as they possibly can. We still have another 4 episodes after this. That's a good shot with the sun in the background. Yeah, good luck beating this guy. Good job. Oh, hey, Glub Shitto.
Master Kalnaka!
Is he dead? Because I know he's not sleeping. What the hell? That's fresh.
He's here.
In the name of the Galactic Republic and the Order of the Jedi, anyone inside that domicile should come out with your hands where we can see them.
That means you, May Anasea.
So their mom's name is their last name? The mom that created them? I still don't know how that all works, and I still find it weird. Oh, hey! Smilo Ren. Yeah, this is 100% Chimera.
Stand down!
Watch out! Run!
Whoa. That was 27 minutes. This is what I'm talking about. Where did the $180 million go? Like, this show has the same budget as the first season of House of the Dragon. And every House of the Dragon episode is like an hour long, if not longer in some cases. And it's 8 episodes. Like, it's 8 hours plus the storytelling there. And then here it's like 3.5, 4. And they're spending the same amount of money. It doesn't make much sense to me. But I will admit, this is the best episode so far. I can't say best because it's still not great. But out of the 4 that we have seen so far, we're now halfway through the show. This is the most intrigued I have been up to this point. There's still a lot of decisions, a lot of writing problems. I don't think any of that's going away. I think that's going to remain all the way throughout the entire show. I think the writing is going to continue to be kind of weak. But this episode was pretty straightforward. So it was the least weak out of all of them so far. And while I was complaining about the budget and the sets and stuff, it is nice to see them on actual locations. Just like Andor, it looks 10 times better than the volume. Like when they were on that mountainside, whenever it was Osha and Yor talking, like it just looked good. It looked real because it was real. And with the volume, you can kind of tell. Not kind of, you can tell. It was interesting to see, get to see some more Jedi and see like how vast the Jedi Order is at this point. Definitely bigger than it is in the prequel trilogy. At least that's the vibe I was getting from it. Like we were just seeing Jedis walk back and forth in those halls, and they were really small sets. And then in the prequels, we have like those big vast halls. I know it's green screen, but you have like those big halls, like those big rooms, and it's just like 10 Jedi walking through, and the room's so big it looks like there's no one in there. So it definitely seems like there's a lot more Jedi at this time. That's probably true. I haven't read any of the High Republic books, so you guys can let me know if anybody out there has read them. Yeah, but dude, the credits start at 28:30, and the intro ends at 1:30. So this episode was 27 minutes long. That is ridiculous. They don't know how to make TV. Lucasfilm does not know how to make TV at all. They try to make movies and then they split them up. That's just what they do. Or should I say they don't know how to make live action TV very well. Of course, there have been instances where it has worked. Andor, I love Andor, but I think a lot of that has to do with Tony Gilroy. His writing is really good. He understands characters. He understands just stories in general. He may not understand Star Wars, but he brought an element to Star Wars that has been needed for a very long time. And that's good stories and good characters. But like I said, this was probably the least weak out of all of the episodes so far. I didn't think it was great, but it was okay. It was a lot better than I was expecting it to be. You know what? This may be recency bias because I was at an all-time low this whole week in terms of Star Wars hype and looking forward to Star Wars shows and getting excited for this show in general. Maybe that's why I'm a little too positive on it right now. Who knows what's going to happen in the coming days whenever I have time to reflect, and I'll probably end up watching it again. But going back to the Jedi, I think that was Plo Koon that we saw with them in that group. I'm going to try to go to the end because he was with them there, right? Do we see him? I don't know if that's him. He has a green saber here. That might not be him. IDK. Because his saber was yellow at this time, canonically, right? And then it was blue in the prequels. And then whenever they're all talking in that other small room, this is literally the same set as the room that I was complaining about they reused with Soul. This is literally the same set, just redecorated. Oh, wow. Like, dude, where's the money going? Where's it going? Is Kathleen Kennedy, like, pocketing 50% of it? Did she just get 90 million from this? And that's her get the hell out of Lucasfilm gift? But anyway, I'll stop complaining about the budget and the reuse of sets because, like I said, They were on location. I'll give them that. But was this Ki-Adi-Mundi? Because he has darker hair here, and then in the prequels he has the white hair. Like, he has the white hair on the top of his head going down, and then a white beard. And this is 100 years before. Like I said during the episode, I don't know how long they live for. I'm actually going to look that up. No, I don't think that's him, because on Wikipedia it says he was born in 93 BBY. So I doubt it, because it's 100 years before the rise of the Empire or the Phantom Menace, because those are two very different things. And just between the beginning of Phantom Menace and the rise of the Empire, that's like, what, 20 something years, right? I don't know. If it is, you guys can let me know down in the comments. I'm still not really feeling the actress that's playing Vernestra. I just don't think she's delivering her lines very well. It comes off as weird. I don't know. I hate critiquing actors, but whenever I'm doing it, it's obvious. Yeah, but Chimere is 100% the Sith dude, because when we saw the back of his head, whenever he was like, he ignited the lightsaber in front of Osha, we saw the back of his head and like saw hair coming down. So it kind of looked like his. It's not a woman like some people were saying it may have been, but this is Disney Star Wars, so who knows what they're gonna do. So I'm thinking it's him, and like some of the reactions that he gave to May in some of their conversations during this episode were a little bit telling. I feel like he didn't let slip, but he was way too dismissive of some things. But he was also being very nice to her, like too nice. And I get that's the same way Palpatine was with Anakin, but that's the Emperor we're talking about here. Yeah, I don't know though. My money's on him. If it turns out to be literally anybody else, I would be shocked, because it feels like it's been very obvious from the get-go. From episode 2, I think, is when we first saw him. I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, since those came out on the same night. But May switched up so fast. Too fast. Like, it came out of nowhere. When she said that, I was like, wait a minute. What? Because her and Chimere were talking briefly about Osha, but it didn't seem like it was anything like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go back with my sister now. But May switches up and she traps Chimere. He comes running over after she screams. Then he's up in the tree, and then she runs to Kalnaka, and he's already dead. But that was when he said that he was going to get water. So maybe he was coming back from killing him. That would make sense. And I know I'm all over the place, but I'm just going from scene to scene. But like, they start off at the Jedi Temple and it feels small, and then they cut to Chimere and May arriving on the planet, and they're on an actual location. Okay, feels vast. Cool, good job. And then we cut back to the same room that they were just in, repurposed for another scene, and it feels small again. And then we cut back to the Jedi ship that we've probably spent about 20 minutes in this whole show so far. Out of the roughly 2 hours we've seen of this series so far, we've probably spent that amount of time in that ship. And then we cut back to them on a real location. Okay, cool, good job. But then when they start going into the woods, every time they're in the woods, it doesn't look real. Doesn't look real. Like with the trees, the lighting looks artificial. There's always like a rock wall all the way around them. So like it looks enclosed as if they're on a soundstage, and they probably are, but it's very apparent. Those beetle things were kind of cool. I'm sure that is going to come back or come in some use some way, because when Soul struck it down, Jecki said it went straight for the lightsaber, and then someone else said, I can't remember who it was, that they're attracted to light. And that information is irrelevant as to what just happened. So I think that they're going to come back and maybe help them some way, somehow. I do like this little Basil dude. I thought he was pretty cool. Like, I'm really digging the alien design. Like, getting to see the different alien Jedi, really interesting. And obviously we had that in the prequels. We had that in the Clone Wars, which is why it is nice to see here, because it makes sense. But anyway, back to the whole May subverting her master's expectations thing. I didn't see that coming. I still think it was a little premature. I think we could have built up to that a little bit better, because that reveal really felt like it came out of nowhere. But she says she's gonna go turn herself into Kalnaka, whatever his name is, and he's dead, struck down by a lightsaber. It didn't look like he put up a fight looked like he just accepted it. But then the Jedi have her cornered in that little hut that he was staying in, and Smilo Ren shows up, who is 100% Chimere. I keep calling him Chimere. Is that even his name? Yeah, that is his name. That would have been embarrassing. But who cares? No one knows these characters anyway. Yeah, but he shows up and the Jedi ignite their lightsabers. They're about to fight, and then he force pushes them back. The thing we saw in the trailer, like the big red smoke cloud. And then the episode ends. That was a good cliffhanger, I will admit, but way too short. Why are these episodes 27 minutes long? Like, I was joking in the beginning whenever I said, oh, thank God this is a short episode, because I thought it was gonna suck way more than it. I guess it didn't suck. It was okay, but I thought it was gonna be bad. But overall, though, I'm still having such a hard time getting into any of these characters, their motives. The only thing I'm remotely interested right now is in, like, the reveals and the lightsaber choreography. If both of those things turn out to be disappointing, then I don't even know what I'm going to think of this show. That's kind of like the main reason I'm watching right now. I say reveals, but we kind of already know it's Chimere. I mean, I think it is him 100%, but I'm interested to see how they go about revealing that. But aside from a select few characters, even those characters, though, are not working for me as well as I would have hoped. Like, I really like Soul, mostly because I really like Lee Jung-jae. I think Yord is also a pretty interesting character just because of how by the books he is. He's a very straightforward Jedi, and I think that's interesting to have in a group like this that's kind of doing their own thing. Like, they have their orders, but it's not like Yoda just handed them a step-by-step checklist to mark boxes as they're going on this mission. But overall, this episode was not bad. It was the strongest out of the 4 that we've seen so far. I'm still not on board with this show, though. I'm going to need to see a lot more, because the first 2 episodes had potential, but they still weren't great, and last week's episode sucked. And even this, while I thought it was the strongest, was not good by a lot of other television standards. Like, I hate to compare it to these shows, but I'm going to. Because they have the same budget. These companies have the same capability of hiring the same kind of capable writers and storytellers. But House of the Dragon, for example, I have not started season 2 yet. I'm probably eventually going to do reactions on the channel. I'm probably going to have to wait like maybe a month just because I'm behind on a lot of other stuff right now. Like, I'm trying to get caught up on this. Like I said in the beginning of the intro, I still have not posted my reaction for episode 3 while I'm filming this. That will be up before this, obviously, but I'm a bit behind on that. I want to start watching The Boys, so it may be a little bit before I get to House of the Dragon season 2, but I'm very excited about that. Great. Now I can't even remember what I was going to say. That's not embarrassing. I am blanking so hard on what I was going to say. I don't know if I'm just stupid or if this show has caused brain cells to leak out my ears. Whatever. I've been doing this review for like 20 minutes anyway. Probably not for you guys. I'll cut it down, but I'm going to wrap it up here. Overall, thoughts a lot more positive than I was expecting going into this episode, but overall I'm still struggling to get a feel for this show. Yet I am intrigued by next week's episode, and this is the most intrigued I have been to see an episode of this show. But all of that has to do with, like I said, the reveals, the lightsaber combat next week, which we're inevitably going to get just because the way that this episode ended. But I'm still really struggling to connect to the story, these characters, most of the characters. I'm just mainly interested in reveals and just the lightsaber stuff. But let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications. Whatever you want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested in seeing the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, as well as early access, you'll find those right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you want to check those out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.